Hello everyone, welcome to this video. First up, I want to thank my creator, give him all the honor, glory, and praise for creating me and my family and how he's took care of me and everything. I just want to give him all the honor for um, creating this world that we live in and exist in. But anyway, I'm going to get right to the video. All right, Israel says they've got their new Messiah. He showed himself and they revealed it last year, 2021. Around Easter time. The guy's name is, I don't know if I can pronounce it or not. Right here. That's his real name. And they say it like this, that article, a gift to this generation. They're calling him the Messiah they've been waiting on, the Jewish people. Now, I do believe the Jewish people are God's chosen people, but also I believe in Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, uh, that he came and paid the price to redeem us back to our Father, But anyway, and to be His bride. Um, so I have a disagreement with the rabbis and all. Most of those rabbis and stuff. They really have a lot of good information and stuff. And they're saying this guy is the Messiah. Well, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you can't believe this guy is the real Messiah. Um, I'm just saying I believe in Jesus Christ because I talked to him I've talked to him every day since I was 6 years old. Even when I went into my own personal wilderness and done things like drinking beer and you know things like that. Everybody goes through their wilderness time, but I still, if I drank too much beer or something like that, I always felt guilty. I repented, and sometimes I'd do it as I was drinking. And I know some people won't think that's right. That you should be able to do that, but when you had the burden, the burden on me was so powerful that I, I just knew I needed to repent, even in those times. But anyway, on to this video. Uh, Now I want to look at this guy's birth chart, and because I started seeing things in birth charts, when people were born. Uh, Nikola Tesla said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. Well, God says there'll be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. But if you're raised in a Christian church, you're taught against that, really. But whenever I started seeing things that I'd been lied to about, I started researching deeper. I want to know the facts, God's science. I want to know the science of how we exist, so I can know when the time's coming that the end of this age, not the end of the world, but the end of this age. I want to know when that time is. Well, this is a part of that. I believe this is a part of that uh, prophecy of the false Messiah coming, and then Jesus, Yeshua, the real Messiah, will come shortly afterwards. They've announced this new king. All right. So I'm going to look at his birth chart and stuff like that, see if I could get any idea who this guy is. Because you'll see a story in this right here. You'll see something that the guy's apparently a very powerful bloodline person. And I'm going to give you my take on it. Here's his birth chart. He was born April 26 in 1988. He has a rather unique, unique birth chart. He's got the pyramids. He's got the blue pyramids. So, look like several lines made the pyramid. But also, you turn it up on the side, he's got the red pyramid. Now that there right there is to me, it tells me that there's something not right here. In my way of thinking, that why is he making the red pyramids? Here's the thing. There's always a positive and a negative in this world, a false, a counterfeit, and a real. Okay, and this to me looks like a counterfeit, the false one, because it's showing two different sides to me of because these are transits, sun, moon, and stars. Um, they make these transits. They this is building your character when you're born, and that's what it appears to me to be because these are shooting way in frequency, vibration, energy. These stars are all shooting light, or to create your character. So anyway, you know, and I ain't saying this is 100% true, you know, because I'm still researching this because there's things that came up in my life that's unreal. Like I've got a matter of fact, I want to show it to you right here. Um, I've been faithful to my Creator. You know, I've done my parts here, but um, I got a king on my thumb. Come from my DNA. This is not a tattoo. This is nothing I've done.
Hello, everyone.
Let me turn this.
Um, I'm sick. Y'all can see.
But y'all see the image that's on my thumb. There's a king there. Y'all can see the robe and stuff. And I've done a little artwork on there to, um, you know, to so you could really, because some people just don't have the eyes to see. And that's what's on my thumb. I'm from the bloodline of King David myself. Um, I can go all the way back to Adam and Eve in my genealogies, which I'm sure these people can too, you know. But um, I just want to show y'all that because there's something the United States government watched me since I was born. Now I can go back in my life and see the times they followed me, the military followed me. But anyway, this ain't about me. I'm just going to make a comparison between this guy and because I'm going to, from my point of view, my belief, he's the false Messiah. If he really is that one, he's a false prophet or something like that. He is something, um, I believe. So let me do one more here so you can see a little bit more about the picture of that, the king that's on my thumb. Y'all can see the king, the image of the king. There's the robe, there's his crown, there's his eyes, nose, and you see the robe goes around his neck. All right. God is marking his people. I don't care what anybody believes or says. God is marking his people. That's not a tattoo. But anyway, I'm gonna go on with this video. Try to get on with it because all right. That's his chart, birth chart. This guy who was born April 26th in 1988. Um, and he is the dominance on him is really 70.37%. That's huge. That's huge of the earth. So that that kind of make you know I don't think it means that you're the antichrist or you're false or anything because you have that high of a dominance because I really don't understand it. But he has like the Taurus signature, which is pretty significant. You know, I mean, he if he's they say he has a photographic memory and all this stuff. You know, and which is you know I'm sure that is easily possible. But I want to go over here to Stellarium, and this thing won't save your information, you know. So I'm gonna have to reset it here. So y'all just please bear with me for a second. Um, I want to do the ecliptic line. That's well, I want to do the meridian too on him because all right. He was born 1988, and if y'all want to learn about yourselves or anybody else, I believe this is a way to research who you are, and you know, because God said there'll be sign in the sun, moon, and stars, you know, and this is what this is. He was born April 26th. All right. He's a very you. I want to show you. All right, right here. This is what I'm saying. Aries is like the ram, the slain lamb, the ram, whatever. But the sun is right on the top of this sea monster. It's called the sea monster, Satan. It's a representative of Satan. Cetus is the name. Well, the sun is right there on his head, and he's kind of under Aries, the the slain lamb, you might say, Jesus Christ. He's kind of under the feet of that. But what gets me is right on the where the brain area would be on the sea monster, and also Jupiter and Mercury's right there in the constellation of Aries, and it's kind of like a war because Jupiter is the king planet. All right, going up here to Venus is in the constellation is right on the tip of the horn of Taurus, and he's this here is like um, a charioteer because what we need to understand as followers of Jesus Christ is that there's going to be a counterfeit of Jesus Christ, and I believe the sun, moon, and stars will show you the war that's going on. and he was born. This guy was born, and he's fixing. Looks like he's fixing to be kicked right here at the moon, the half moon. And so I'm just saying, I believe that tells you something because Donald Trump was born on a full blood moon. I was born on a total lunar eclipse. And Donald Trump was born on a blood moon, a total lunar eclipse. So I think that gives you signs and hints of what's coming. But here's what's kind of another thing. It was kind of significant to me was, and I want to show you something. Capricorn. I believe Capricorn represents extra DNA because let me get over here to it. All right, see, there's two pyramids right there. Capricornus makes two pyramids. Mars is representative of war. And right here, this Sagittarius is the rider on the white horse in Revelation chapter 6. From my research, that I believe that this is well, Saturn is right there. Saturn means also a type of a war against the followers of Jesus Christ. You know, the strict teacher, you might say. Some people will disagree with that, but that's fine. I don't argue. You know, I don't see to argue about it. But anyway, Ophiuchus is a serpent bearer. Saturn's right there in the bow or the era, kind of, you might say, if there is eras. And so it kind of tells me there's a war going on in Capricornus, the DNA of God's chosen people, because their DNA is, they had a hidden DNA. If you've ever had, you have wisdom teeth, the shingles, you know, that it stops halfway in your chest. It stops on your nerve lines, and shingles just hits one side of your DNA. And then there's this thing called chimera, which is half bloodline of angels, or half bloodline of humans. So when you have wisdom teeth, or you have the shingles, or you have unusual birthmarks, you're probably one of the signs of the extra DNA. So anyway, that's what Jacob seen when the ladder to heaven was like a double or triple DNA strand. In my research, that's what I believe. But anyway, so let me get back up here and pull his back up, because Israel is Virgo. Everybody born out of this womb is, I believe, come from Israel. Is the children of Israel, the Jewish people, you might say. Okay, but let's go on over here to back to this guy for a second. This is the guy. He looks like he has to wear pretty thick glasses. He's a young guy, pretty young, 32. He'll be 33, I think, here this next April. And he may be 33 now. I didn't really add that up, but do a little more research here on his to the shape. His this kind of gives you the shape of what was going on in the heavens. There's a triple conjunction there, and then there was a conjunction there, but that's kind of, you know, yeah, I really don't understand it, but I know the conjunctions are huge. This is on his birth night. So I want to go over here to mine and compare myself to him, because I bet he don't have a king on his thumb. He might, but I just kind of doubt it. But I'm the Capricorn signature, if you go by that. And here's my birth chart. Now, I've never seen another birth chart like this. I got a daughter that's got one that's very similar, and she can see things that nobody else can see in the spiritual realm. But right here, this is Jupiter and Saturn up here at the top. This is the way Zeus was born, Odin, a lot of those mythic, you know, those characters that you see that was high-powered people. All right, that's kind of what Saturn was close to them always. Because here's on my, let's go to when I was born here, and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. All right, I was born on 1961. was born on 9 and 8. And I was born on at 11:55, which is 23 and then 55. That's the exact time I was born. Mena, Arkansas. The gematria value for Mena is 33, and Arkansas is, if you spell it the way that they spelled it when they first named the state, was ARKANSAW. That value is 88. Where I was born on 7th, the corner of 7th Street and Highway 71, which is 177 backwards or 771. You know, the 17 uh, in 1961, if you look it up in the Hebrew, the Hebrews language, it's Ayah, Hayah, 1961, which means God. Okay, I ain't saying I'm God or anything like that. I'm just saying that I have abilities that nobody else has. I've done videos that nobody else can show. I've viewed Ezekiel's wheel many times, and it was a star. They're stars. They're wheels, just like the sun is a wheel. A torus spinning wheel is what it is. Energy, frequency, and vibration. So, um, all right, I'm gonna drop that down here, and then I'm gonna. This is the exact time I was born. Mars is right in the. Okay, Mars is right by the womb of where we are born out of. This is a symbolism. This is of Israel. So I was born. No, it's not, but I was hidden. See, I was there. They was just as soon as I was born. There was a conjunction of the sun and the moon, and I was born at the last slither of the moon was going to the new moon at the exact time I was being born, and Venus is in the rest area. Um, but I'm gonna go over here and show you this Capricorn. When I was born, the king planet was right here in the constellation of Capricorn and Sagittarius. That is I believe that's the bloodline people of angels and of humans. And Saturn is there to fight. Y'all can see that when you go back to this chart right here, you can see there's Jupiter and there's Saturn, and it kind of shows you, gives you an idea right here of what's going on, you know. And when you start researching this out, well, you start seeing things. Um, you know, in your own mind, you have an interpretation of it, but you know, I just don't say this stuff. I just say that if I research it, and I'm not saying it's 100% true because there's always an element of doubt or whatever. But now I want to go back. There was a sign on um, 2017, the great and 23. Uranus was in Pisces. That's I believe, the church and the Jews or whatever, because they come together at the end of time. They'll reunite. There was it's called the sign of Revelation chapter 12. Venus, Mars, and Mercury lined up, which made a crown of 12 stars over the head of the Israel. The sun was on her. She was clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet. Let me go back just a little bit here, because to understand this, you got to go. The moon's right there. It's on the 22nd. Is right. Let me go back up one. The moon is under her feet going into the judgment. Jupiter just came out of the womb, and I want to show you this right here, the night I was born. the birthday, I should say. All right. Jupiter was in the womb for 9 months. It was uh, going back and forth. It stayed in this womb. It kind of popped out a little bit out on 7/11. Well, on the 8th and 9th, Jupiter has came out of the womb. Young Seth's done crossed the line there, and the sun is right at like on the feet of Leo, the line of the tribe of Judah. There's Mercury, and Venus is at the rest area. That's called the rest area. Cancer is called the resting place, and then Mars. So there's a war coming against. To me, it looks like the line of the tribe of Judah or the bloodline of the true church. So anyway, um, and the moon is right in the eye of the sea monster. See Satan, these have a lot of these kind of resemble the same thing. A lot of these constellations resemble the same thing. And I want to show you what is Saturn was on the Golden Gate, as it was at the Golden Gate of heaven. That's where that is. It's frequency 267 is what that right there. Yeah, I don't want to get into all that, but so what I'm saying is about this new guy. He's got a very powerful chart, very powerful birth chart. But it looks to me like there's two sets of pyramids, and Satan wants to be the pyramid too. He come from, I believe this is like the bloodline, showing us the bloodline of God's people. Because I got a granddaughter that made a perfect pyramid in her birth chart. But he's also got a red pyramid, like the red dragon, the signs of. Because what I believe happened is that the Jewish people, the rabbis of that time, is the ones that condemned Jesus to the cross, because they are so bent on the law that there's no way that man can adhere to that law, even though it should be in your heart. The Ten Commandments and stuff should be in your heart that you automatically try to do it, but you're going to fail until we're changed. We're going to fail from every day. We're going to fail. The answer is to repent, and we're going to see soon, I believe, who the real Messiah is, whether it's Jesus Christ or this guy coming, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Messiah. Because when you get into Jesus Christ's teaching and stuff, he was a compassionate individual. He was a very learned. He was teaching the rabbis, some of the rabbis of that day, the scriptures of, what the scriptures meant. He spoke in parables because he was too advanced for a human to really understand it. So everything he taught was kind of like in parables. He gave a different different way to analyze the scriptures. The way it's supposed to be. And Jesus knew all things, just like Elijah knew how to call fire down from heaven, because he understood the energy, frequency, and vibration. And he knew God for one thing, but God let him have the power to do that. So I'm just saying that it's something interesting to me that this new thing that's come up. They're supposed to have red heifers to sacrifice for this guy or something coming up. He's supposed to build a third temple, and I'm sure he's a very intelligent guy. With his birth chart and stuff like that, he looks like he's a very intelligent guy. But when you don't have, when we're the temples now, it's been put inside us in our heart, the being the temple of God, not so much a building. I mean, it kind of, they want to do this law stuff. They want to. I think the rabbis now have 613 commandments. Okay, really there's nobody that can adhere to that. They can try, but if you go read, a lot of people don't like the Apostle Paul, but I think the Apostle Paul, could see too that he was a rabbi. Really, Apostle Paul was, and then he got converted. And some people say he was an imposter and all that kind of stuff. But I believe I believe he was advanced enough in the knowledge of the scripture, but he wasn't interpreting it right. And I think when he was going on the road to Damascus, and Jesus Christ blinded him and said, "Why do you persecute me?" And So then a Christian comes along and removes the scales off Paul's eyes so Paul could see. You know, there's an awakening happening. God said, I'm going to awaken my people at the end of time. And if they don't, I'm going to smite the earth with a curse and I'm going to be done with human beings. Okay. And I believe that's where these rabbis and stuff are leading us, is to that curse if we don't wake up. And the I believe the 144,000 are followers of Jesus Christ. They've been born again into a different reality, you know. But anyway, I just thought that was something interesting. I've done several of these videos on certain people. I still think Donald Trump is way up there. Um, I believe he's one of the two, the Antichrist or the false prophet. If not, he's one of the leaders, one of the seven kings or whatever that, you know, it's like seven kings, 10 horns and 10 crowns, 7 crowns or something like that, you know, that it talks about over in Revelation, that he's one of those. And I really have no doubt about that. But I just believe that he's got Israel's named towns after this guy. They put him on the temple coins and all that kind of stuff. But they think Israel believes there's two messiahs. Joseph, they believe there's two messiahs coming. And I think that even this guy may be one of them. I don't know. If he really says he's coming in peace, he's supposed to have done a lot of incredible things as a child growing up and stuff like that, you know. So anyway, I want to thank y'all for coming to my video. I hope everyone has a great day, and I don't believe it'll be very long until something. There's maybe coming, a catastrophe, a plasma. The magnetic fields are going to shift, and when it does, it's going to make earthquakes, rivers disappear, new rivers show up. And if you ain't truly in your heart, you know, I think God says, I'll send the Son of righteousness with healing in his wings. Our DNA is being changed right now through what's happening on the sun and the Schumann resonance, the magnetic field that surrounds us that makes our creation. And that is going to reverse. And this torus field that surrounds us, that where energy comes from for our creation, is going to spin the opposite way. It's going to stop and spin the opposite way, reversing the magnetic fields, and a lot of people are going to die. I mean, that's just the way I see it. From when I was 6 years old, I couldn't understand humans really. I just didn't understand why people done the things they done, and you know, stuff like that. But I was being taught. You know, I was being taught all the time, and I didn't know it. You know, when I was 6 years old, I was kind of hid. I was born on a total lunar eclipse, and that's kind of a symbol of being hid. You know, so and I tell you what, I've had in the position I've been put in today. I'm ready. I've already said enough is enough of this world. Enough is enough. God, bring the judgment on the evildoers of this earth. I'm ready to go into the 1,000-year millennium, if that's what's coming, which I believe it is, that God is fixing to remove the evil, and the meek will inherit the earth. You know, anyway, there's a lot of information I have, and it's just so much. I just get so much. My ears have rang for 25 years, you know, and then I'll wake up in the night after my ears are really ringing, and I'll just have thoughts of seems like true information, you know, that I wake up and I can't go back to sleep because all these thoughts are going through my head about what's happening on our earth, what's happening to people, to their souls. And it's a burden. It's a burden like I don't believe very many people held. Jesus had that same burden, kind of. I mean, he had a hard burden. He knew what was coming, and it's not. If you want to know the truth, it's really not fun. But we're not put here to have fun. We're put here to fix this place, you know, to bring the end of this age here. And a lot of people said, no, I just want to go on like it is, going like it is. Our cup of iniquity, our cup of sin in the United States is run over. And I just done a video about who America was really named after. the red plumed serpent, America. That's what we were named after. All you Christians out there, you are being deceived by our own government. They are the evildoers. I remember when George Bush got up there, Jr., and the evildoers, he was talking about the planes crashing into Twin Towers, that Muslims did it. That's the biggest lie they ever come up with and got by with it mostly. But now the truth is coming out. Those towers were hit with a military grade type of weapon. Whoever done it, I don't know. Um, I believe it was, I feel like it was, well, I ain't even going to say, but if you go research it, I believe you'll come to the same conclusions. Those towers turned to dust, basically turned to dust. They did not crumble down and fall and all. I mean, there was a lot of debris left, sure, because it did but the way them things fell, it was a organized demolition, and it turned to dust, mostly dust, and so I'm saying that the 2001 9/11 thing was a big. I mean, it was a human sacrifice, a ritual. Um, so anyway, thank y'all for coming to my channel. I hope everyone has a great day, and please like and share my videos. Um, and I'll try to do more as time goes on. I'm ready for it to end myself. So once again, thanks for coming to my video. Please share them and like them.